Hey there, welcome to Hermit Haven. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jackie. We're so excited to invite you into our safe space. Hermit Haven is like a cozy little hideout where we get to celebrate being confident in ourselves as we find happiness in quiet moments.
So grab your favorite blanket and your favorite drink, and let's dive into today's episode.
Hi, I'm Jackie. Welcome back to Hermit Haven.
Hi, I'm Ashley. We're so excited to have you today. We are going to be talking about this concept of checking in, right? We are already in April. We're getting past April at this point. This episode date is coming out April 22nd. So we're like at the end of April. And where are you, right? In the year? Are you where you want to be? And that's okay if you're not, but are you checking in with yourself, making sure that you are on the path you want to be in? Because a lot of times, unfortunately, we get lost in the sauce, as like I like to say, but we get lost in the daily day life, right? We're showing up for our kids, we're showing up for ourselves, we're showing up for someone else. We have work, we have projects, we have house, we have things that we have to manage that are taking so much time and energy that sometimes you lose your goals, you lose your perspective, right? So we talked about this in one of our first episodes of the year. We talked about, or maybe a couple episodes in, we talked about how you had all these goals for New Year's, right? And they're not working out because you only put them for New Year's. You didn't stretch them out throughout the entire year. So this is the point where we're like, okay, well, we're past that. We're not in New Year's goals. We're in the middle of the year. What is your goals moving forward? It's okay that you didn't get to accomplish what you wanted to accomplish in the past, but what is your goals now moving forward? And why is checking in so important? Like, I think we think the concept of checking in is this hard concept. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just asking yourself a simple question. Am I okay with where I am? Is this where I want to be? What can I do that's different, right? Checking also might be like open your calendar and be like, did I actually commit to all these events that I put on my calendar? Did I show up as my full, complete self, right? Am I energy? Is my time? Is everything aligning here?
Yeah. Sometimes when you have goals, like, first of all, this week flew by so fast. I was just talking to my grandma and I was like, where did the week go? So like, where did the year go? Right. Like it's just been flying by. And I think people make goals at the beginning of the year. They don't ever look at them again. Like they kind of know that they're there, but like life is there. So they don't really make a plan or what they thought was going to be the plan. We always talk about how like seasons change. Seasons can change so fast, right? Like I decided 45 days ago, I've been like marking it off. I've been very specific about all of my little plans. But 45 days ago, I decided I was going to do like a personal 90-day health sprint and I had certain things I wanted to do. Probably a week later is when my toe situation happened where I couldn't barely walk. So like I have these health goals where I'm like trying to lose fat. And if you know me, I love walking. And so I'm trying to do these health goals. I'm trying to like meal prep. I'm like hobbling around. I can't walk. So like that's out of the question. I could barely do like workouts. Anyway, things try to derail us is what I'm getting at in our goals, and that's okay. And so I have a little weekly check-in actually every Sunday specifically about that goal because I like to ask myself like, okay, did I drink my water this week? Did I meal prep this week? Like how'd I do with tracking my food? Like I go through a little thing with myself and I say, did I do the things?
Yeah.
And that's a really good way if you're just like, I haven't been working towards goals, or maybe
Yeah.
you didn't even know what your goals were. Maybe you know now, or maybe you still don't know and you're still working it out. But having those little I like a weekly check-in, like how did I do last week? And then I also try to look at the wins, right? Like I was talking to myself today, talking to myself, and I was like, dang, like I'm already 45 days in. I thought I'd be further in my goal. And then I was like, oh, wait, I forgot the toe thing happened a month ago. So literally a week into it. So I've been trying for the past month to do these goals that I couldn't really fully do. And that's okay. But now that it's getting better, I can kind of ramp back up and put more effort into this goal, if that makes sense. And so
Yeah.
sometimes just things are getting in your way of life, and that's okay. It happens to all of us. And you just have to say, like, where am I at? What can I realistically do right now towards what I want to get to? Because
Yeah.
even though we're already in like end of April, we're only in the end of April. Also,
Right.
if you look at the span of a year, like we're not even halfway through. You have
I,
plenty of time.
I think you bring up two really good points. I think having tools, right? So for you, and I remember us actually talking about this months and months ago, not on the podcast, but just in general. Like you were saying, like, I just don't know if I'm completing all the things I want to complete in a week. I was like, well, are you doing a weekly check-in? Are you checking in with
Yeah.
yourself? And so that's your tool you're using. You create
Yeah.
a system, right? A list saying each week I'm going to sit down with this list. And that's something I need to get back to, right? I'm very honest, right? I know I've lost some of the things over time because I'm trying to wear too many hats. And
Mhm.
sometimes I know, and this is something again, I'm admitting because that's how you move forward. You have to admit that things are not working to move
Yeah.
forward, right?
Yep.
So I admit that there is these tools that I was using like that, and I'm not using curling because I put too many things on my plate, and I
Mhm.
always let go of those extra things because in my head that seems like a lot of work sometimes to make the time to sit down and do that, right? And you have to be in the right mindset, and half the time I'm just exhausted. So I think that's such a good point, is creating a tool, right? And it might not be a list. It may, maybe it's a reminder on your phone or an alarm on Sunday being like, hey, did you do this? Or an alarm each day, hey, did you do this? Or maybe it's a timer, right? Did you complete your timer this week for this? Or maybe it's like, even like, to be honest, have your mom, have your best friend text you once a week and be like, hey, did you do that thing you wanted to do? Like sometimes you need someone else to hold your hand, and that's
Yeah.
okay, right? That's why they're called tools, right? They're there to help you succeed in whatever you're doing, right? It's the same thing. If you showed up to a plumbing job with a screwdriver and not a wrench, is that really going to get you anywhere? No, you need to find the proper tools for what you're trying to fix. And again, it's going to look different, right? So someone might show up with a wrench that's 80 years old and works for them, and and someone might show up with a wrench that is 2 years old and is got from their friend, right? It doesn't matter, right? The tool might look different, but it's still a tool that helps and fixes the problem and solves the problem. And so I think that's a really good point, is creating tools to be intentional, to check in, because at the end of the day, we want to be intentional with our time. We want to be intentional with our energy. We want to be intentional with our brain. We want to be intentional with who we share this life with. We want to be intentional with everything we do, right? If you're not
Mhm.
being intentional, that's where things slip. That's where things run away. That's where things are like, am I completing my goals? Am I where I want to be? Did I like get set back? And setbacks are going to happen. Like Jackie's talking about her toe incident, that set her back in her goals, right? And that set her back in her intentions, right? But I was just gone for 2 weeks, and I did not like, even though I was with my family and and all this other things, like it was hard for me to stay on track with the things I needed to get done because I didn't have the normal system. I didn't have the normal things, which also speaks up. It speaks highly, right? Is the things you're doing maybe a lot and they're only work where you're at home? So then maybe that's not the right tool. Again, it's all about finding what works, right? So if it only is working in one place, like you only can, create this attentional list in your office, then maybe that's not the right tool, right?
Yeah.
You need to be able to have something that's versatile. You need to have something that is easy, something that is like click, 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 right? Because the more time and energy you're putting in it, it makes you not want to do it. And then you're losing the actual goal and the intention of doing it.
Yeah. I literally wrote a list the other day because I was like, okay, how can I make what I'm trying to do for myself even easier than it has been, And I was talking to a friend about like, well, we could have, set either meal like Italian night, like a theme for each night, like that's something because you're talking about meal planning and like sometimes it's hard. My brain is so tired, like I don't want to make more decisions. So like something like that, or instead of me having to track like how many of these have I drank during the day, like maybe I fill up 3 different water bottles, put them in the fridge for the next day, and then I know if I drank them all, then
Yeah.
I'm good to go. Like it's just like finding how to make what you're doing even easier. I also really like for my goals is like getting out a piece of paper. I'm a paper and pen person, and just like brain dumping everything that I can think about because sometimes it's just like all jumbled in there and it feels like a bunch of like little. I told Gavin the other day, what's that game is it Pong where it like goes like back and forth? You Frogger? I don't really know, but it's like an old school game where there's like you have to like move this thing and the ball like hits it and then it goes over here and you have to
Yeah.
anyway, I was like, it's like that, Gavin. I was trying to explain to like my gaming little boy. I was like, it's that like that, but it has like a million balls that I'm trying to like not let fall outside of the thing. That's what my brain feels like all the time. And so if I brain dump, sometimes it's really helpful because I can come up with my own ideas or my own tools or easier ways of things to do. Or like maybe I'm seriously overthinking, which I always am overthinking what I'm supposed to be doing. And sometimes just like writing it all down and getting it all out kind of helps me see clearly. So that might be helpful for some people. Oh, there's something that you were saying that I was like, oh, um, there's a lot of trial and error also, and figuring out, like Ashley said, like which tools work the best for you. And I always wanted to be a planner person. And I feel like this year is the first year I'm being consistent with my planner, and I'm so proud of myself. And it's a paper and pen planner, right? So, like, for some people, it doesn't work, but I realized that unless my space or my things are creative and look cute, like, I don't want to use them. Like,
Oh
I
my
don't want to
gosh.
pick things up. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
If
I
things
don't pick
get
things up.
if things get overwhelming feeling, I don't want to do it. Like right now, my sweet, sweet man decided to clean out the refrigerator for us, which is amazing because that is the one thing I cannot stand is cleaning out the refrigerator. But then he stacked it all in the like on the like on top of the oh my God, I can't speak the sink. He stacked
Hmm.
it all on top of the sink. So right now it's just all coming out of the sink. And I'm like looking at it and I'm just like, I gotta go. I can't do this. Like, I'm so overwhelmed. Like, I can't handle it.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's good to know too, right? Like, if things don't look pretty, you're not going to do it, or if things are overstacked or overdone,
Hmm.
like you,
Hmm.
right? These are part of figuring out like the challenges, right? Of what is going to work and what's not going to work. And this is why this check in is so important again, because this check in is you being intentional. Okay, did this work? Did that work? Like Jackie saying, oh, my planner works. So I'm going to keep doing that, right? Me saying, okay, I'm going to do this check in on Notion every week. It's not working clearly. So I need to find a better way to do it, right? But then one thing that Jackie and I both been doing is using this like timer app called Multi Timer,
Mm.
and I think you can get up to like 8 timers. And that has been working so well for us because we're able to see throughout the day how we're using our time intentionally.
Yeah.
Right. And another thing that's like been working for me, again, we were saying like pretty stuff. Like another thing that's been really working for me is having focus modes on my phone. So, right, I have a focus mode for when I work. So I'm not trying to diddle daddle into like Sudoku or something else, right? I'm literally, I don't know if you could see it. I think I have to like turn down my brightness. So if you're on YouTube, you can probably see it, but I have like a screen just for work, right? That means that I am focused on work. I can't diddle daddle somewhere else. Another thing is I made my screens pretty, so I want to like look, but it also distracts me from all the other stuff on here that I don't need to be on, right? And then I have like a focus mode for home because I don't need the Roku mode on my phone every single time on my front screen. Like that's just a distraction, right? But when I'm home, I might need the Roku remote because I can't find it. So I think it's just like figuring it out, or like another focus mode. I'm obsessed with my focus modes if you can't tell, but I have one for going for walks, and it's literally the most simplest screen, but it has a little start button for my Nike and it'll track my walk. How easy is that, right? It's quickly getting me into the setting I need to be in. And so it's the same thing. Like if you're the type of person that needs to buy 4 different body washes or face washes and have one at each sink so you can remember to wash your face, just do it. I know it costs money and money is hard sometimes, but the way you feel, you're going to forget about that money, right? It's just sometimes you have to do things like that. Like I think I obsessed about getting a new tripod for like ever, right? So now I have like a tripod in one room, a tripod in another room. Like it's okay to have multiples. It's okay to have multiple systems too. Like I think for a long time I believed like I have to have everything in Notion. It's not true, right? There's other systems I can use that work with Notion, right? Everyone's going to find their own system. It's part of this trial and error. And that's part of these check-ins, right? Is what I'm doing working? Is who I'm becoming, who I want to become? Is I meeting the goals that I need to meet? Am I showing up in my life and being intentional? Am I showing up in other people's lives and being intentional? Another thing you can do with these check-ins is there someone I haven't been talking to? Is there someone I need to reach out to? Is there something I need to do? I think also these check-ins, this is a good time to say, okay, I have 1,000 things on my to-do list that have been sitting on that like parking lot to-do list, like you can say, like that list of things that you need to do, but it's just not happening today. Like it's a someday list. What things can be deleted off your someday list, right? Like what things actually should be done. And then maybe pick 4 things and say, okay, in the next 4 months, I'm going to do one thing a month. That's part of it, right? I think we get so lost in the daily day. I think another thing Jackie said that I really loved and I want to bring into, I wish I had my notebook here because I've been paper and penning a lot more too. I also have my iPad I'm trying to redo so that's more intentional because I find my iPad is just a mixed match of apps right now. So I'm trying to make my iPad just like a more creative, intentional space. But another thing, like Jackie said, is having the days of the week, theming it, right?
Yeah.
So like I know that I sat down with my paper and pen. I was like, okay, Mondays, this is the intention of my day, right? Tuesdays, this is my intention today. On Tuesdays, we're gonna go have a play date. in with our friends. On Wednesday, I'm going to record with Jackie and I'm going to have time to myself. On Thursdays is going to be library day and time to myself, right? And whatever, Matt will be home so I can spend some time with Matt, right? It's knowing, and it's okay to say, okay, well, that was, and again, we switched our recording day. So we used to record on Tuesday and we switched it to Wednesday because I asked if it was possible to switch a day so that way I can go have these play dates with my friends. And that's okay too. It's okay to change the norm of what you were doing to then create a better and more experiences for you. And it's okay to say, okay, and then Jackie and I might have this conversation and say, oh, I don't know if Wednesdays is working, even though we haven't got there yet, and it is working. I'm just saying, like, if in some case, if me and Jackie are both like, hey, Wednesdays are not working, or Jackie came to me and said, hey, Wednesdays is not working, then we would figure it out, make it work for both of us. And I think that's part of these check-ins, right? Is what I'm doing working for who I'm working with? And is this working for me?
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things about check-ins too is also like obviously it's for analyzing like what's going on, what's working, what's not, but doing like a win list I think would be such a good thing to do at a check-in because like I know I keep talking about I'm just in this health mode, okay? This year I'm like in health
I
mode,
love it.
being more creative, doing a lot of art, using my planner, being creative. Anyway, but I was like getting a little, I was like, okay, I want to get to like the next level. Like I've been working and part of it too, stay with me here. So I was talking to myself today and I was like, I want to get leaner, which means I have to like dial in my food even more. But then I was like, but wait, it's been a month, 45 days or whatever it has been. And I haven't even been able to work out, but I have been doing really well. Well, I have been working out. I haven't been able to walk anyway, but I've still been doing workouts and I've still been getting even healthier habits. And so part of like point of this, the part of getting to your goal isn't like immediately getting like, I don't know, uh like not immediately getting there, but like immediately getting like those like wins, if you will.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to like build little habits along the way so that
Like
you
little
can start
steps.
towards the journey. Yeah. And so like I've been building those steps, even though I really wanted to like, go like this in the 90 days and be like, yeah, at the end I'm gonna be like ripped. Not really. But just being like physically have change. And I do physically have change, but I don't know. I was like giving myself wins today because I was like, you did this, like you've been meal planning some of the time,
Mhm.
you've been changing your lifestyle, you've been saying no to things that you would normally say yes to eating. Like you've been really like conscious of like, am I hungry or am I just bored and maybe do something else? Like there's just these little habits along the way that I've been building. And so sometimes we forget about those because we immediately think of what we want at the end. And we're like, well, we haven't seen, the result that we want to see towards whatever the goal is. And so therefore, I'm not doing enough. And then you like berate yourself or whatever, like you put
Yeah.
yourself down and that's not it. Like you have to look at all those wins along the way, even the small ones, they add up. They all add up. That's like the whole point. And I think that's the hardest part for people is like realizing that you need those small little wins and those small little habits to build, 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 build. And like it's like the long game. People don't ever want to play the long game. And the long game is what's going to get you to where you want to be. And it's so worth it. I actually heard this quote. I don't even know if this is related, but I heard this quote yesterday when I was scrolling the TikTok. And he was like, you have to like, I don't know if it's a quote, it was just like a thought, but you have to let go of who you were. And that's the hardest part for people because people don't want to be uncomfortable and like let go. Like the payment of being the person that you want to be is letting go of the old version of you. And it's so hard to like let go of like your old habits and who you are in order to become like the person that you want to be. Anyway, I know this
It's
is
so
like a check-in
true.
video, but
It's
it's part
so
of it.
true.
Like you have to say to yourself, am I letting go of old identities? Am I letting go of old habits? Or am I just continuing to do the same? And how do I move the needle and start to let go of that so I can be open to better opportunities and the goals that I want?
It's so true. And I think something with this check-in, we're talking a lot about the past, but make sure you're not focus on the past, reflect on the past, because you need to reflect on the past to move forward. But also make sure in this check-in, you're creating like goals that actually are going to match what your next couple months are. Make sure your calendar aligns with where you're going, right? Like I was just telling Jackie, I need to sit down my calendar. I have like people telling me kids' birthday parties I need to come to, and I have Ari now has like 8,000 physical therapy appointments till end of May, right? Like I need to sit down my calendar and make sure that these things are putting in. I'm running a whole mom walk community here, and I need to make sure that those events are on my calendar, and I need to make sure I'm putting like planning time in my calendar, making sure that I'm getting things done. And that's part of like my intentions for each day too, right? Going forward. And maybe I need to make like a cute list, a cute little Canva graphic and put as my background on my phone, you know? But I think just finding what's going to work moving forward. So we checked in. We said, hey, past self, what worked, what didn't work? Okay, future self, what do I need to grow? What do I need to gain? What do I need to learn? Maybe there's a book, maybe there's a podcast, maybe there's a YouTube, maybe it's listening to us. Like whatever it is, it's okay not to have the tools now. It's okay to go out and reach for those tools. So that's part of that check in too, is sitting down and saying, what tools do I need to change or use to move forward? And it's okay if you don't have any tools right now, right? Your toolbox can be empty. That is okay. That means you're graduating into buying a toolbox for yourself. And what is that toolbox going to be filled with? Is that filled with a Google Calendar? Is that filled with reminders? Is that filled with timers? Are they physical timers? Is that a timer on your phone? Is that filled with sticky notes all over your house to remind you to do the thing, right? I saw someone post on TikTok that they literally were like trying to do a new shower routine. And so they wrote down their entire shower routine and left it in the bathroom for themselves,
I
right?
like
Like
that.
it's okay to do things like
Yeah.
that. It's okay. And I think so many times we think we're going to be weird or we think that that's not normal so we can't do that. Don't stop. Break that right there. Like whatever you need to do for yourself is normal for you and is okay for you, right?
Yeah.
And it's okay like if you're me and you need four different or face washes so you remember to wash your face every day, right? It's okay if I need to put like four sticky notes and four different reminders and five different timers just to remember to do the one thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I always tell
I
people too, like even now, like I'll tell people, I'll be like, if they want to tell, like even with Jackie, I'll be like, can you just text it to me and I'll get back to that text message, and then I'll be like sitting there scrolling for hours looking for this text message of the reminder, but it works, right? It might not be the best system, but it works, right? You need to just find what works and then make it better, make it better. So Jackie's texting me something I need to remember instead of me scrolling back, maybe then, right? So it does work when I see it physically on text, but then I need to take that right away and put it somewhere, right?
yeah.
So it's okay to do it in steps. Like, first step is that maybe someone needs to, instead of people telling me a date, I need them to text me the date. Second step is, okay, now I need to figure out how to automatically tell my brain, put that on my calendar. Put that on my calendar, right? And I think we talk about this a lot, but it's sometimes we have to like remind ourselves of the steps, right? It's like building a habit. Remind yourself, remind yourself. So I am going to be more intentional. Let's say it together. I am going to be more intentional the rest of this year, and I'm going to show up for myself because that is important to me, and it might take time, but I will find the tools to get to where I need to be, right? And so the next time we check in and the next time you check in with yourself, you're going to find a difference, but it starts with reflecting on your past, reflecting on what you did already, reflecting on where you're going, and reflecting on what you want, right? And if you don't know yourself, then that right there is the issue. Take time to learn about yourself. Take time to figure out what makes you happy. Take time to figure out what's going to make you feel successful, fulfilled, and feel intentional, and that you're bringing your light and your light to everyone.
Yeah. Absolutely. I
Is there
love
anything
that.
you want to add?
I don't know. I don't think so. I just think like make your list of wins and
Yeah.
evaluate if the goals that you had are even still what you want and break it down into like little baby steps of how you can work towards that. Like what kind of habits does the person that I don't know has a job at XYZ company, if that's like your goal, like I want to work here. Well, what does the person that worked there do? Like what are their habits? And then you start to just kind of like become the person that who you want to be. And just naturally, you're going to fall into the new habits and do the things and
Yeah.
get the goal.
I think too, showing up to your commitments, showing up to who you want to be.
Yeah.
So important, even on the hard days. And it's okay to lose yourself, right? It's okay to say, I lost myself. I'm going to move forward now. I'm not going to harp on this. I need to move forward. This is what's best for me.
Yeah.
And
Even
moving
if you're
forward.
not 100% showing up, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people are like, you have to 100% show up. But it's like, even if you're just making a baby step, but you are showing up consistently, it's that consistency that matters, not how much you show up. It's just that constantly showing up proves to yourself that you can do it.
Yeah.
It's like you're respecting yourself. Makes you feel
100%.
pretty.
And sometimes, and again, you have to honor your energy. So if you wake up and you have a migraine and it's just, your stomach hurts, you're not going to show up as the best person. You're not going to show up, as 100% as yourself that day. You're not feeling good. But not showing up at all is where things start going downhill. And I know that, right? Like when I was away, it was hard to show up for myself. And I'm feeling that effect now, right? And it's going to take time to get back to where I was and to get back to that groove. And that, that is for me a personal check-in. What do I need to do? Right. So I don't fall and slip into these bad habits and these bad patterns. Is there a book? Is there a podcast? Is there journaling I need to do? Is there maybe I literally like last night I was just writing affirmations, right,
Yeah.
to help myself fall asleep that were gonna help me, right? And I think sometimes it's taking, it's okay to ask for help, right? It's okay to say, hey, and help might look like I just need time to myself. Help might look like, hey, can you sit with me and hold my hand? Help might look like, hey, can you give me advice? Help might look like, hey, I need to go back and forth and collab with you. All of those are different ways to ask for help, and that is okay. So if you get to the point of your check in and you're like, I need help, we're here for you. I'm sure your friends are there for you. I'm sure your family's there for you. Find someone that you trust and love and ask for that help if that's what you need. And it's okay, again, to ask for help. It's okay to admit that you're not right. It's okay to admit that you're not succeeding where you want to succeed, but you have the ability to get to where you want to be. And it's then showing up for yourself.
Yeah. Sometimes someone else can also just like knock you out of your like you're seeing things of a certain perspective, and sometimes people can come with a different perspective and then help you
Yeah.
move forward with theirs. So yeah,
And
agreed.
don't compare and contrast. Like, don't be like, well, my goal was to have 10,000 followers, and the same girl that I've been following for 8 months who started with the same amount of followers is now past that. She's making
Yeah.
thousands of dollars, right? Well, then maybe you need to sit down and say, maybe it's not you. It's maybe you need to post differently, or maybe you're not connecting with your audience, or maybe your content feels pushed, right? People are like, ugh, she just seems stale, right? Like, it's okay. Like, it's okay to say, okay, maybe I need to rework what I'm doing, but you're not comparing and contrasting. You're saying, hey, this is not working for me.
Yeah.
What can work better to reach my goal? And sometimes it's hard to admit that defeat, but it's okay to admit that defeat. Like, it's okay
Yeah.
to say, like, I mean, Jackie have these conversations all the time, right? Like, maybe it's the content we're posting isn't matching who we truly are now. And so we need to change the content we're posting to really match who we are, because we're just posting for the wrong reasons, right? We're posting quickly, we're posting fast, we're just trying to get a post up. But that's not what's happening, right? We're taking time to slow down, and that's what this season is about. Take time, slow down, love yourself, check in with yourself, check in with your friends, and we love you all. We'll see you next Wednesday. We'll see you every single Wednesday. We are here on our personal social medias. We are here on Herman Haven. We are on every platform you listen to. We have a Facebook group we chit chat in, and if this resonates with you, like us, comment, send this to a friend, send this to someone that maybe you really that's having a hard time and they think they might need to hear this, because we all need to hear this. And we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Bye-bye, y'all.
Thanks for spending time with us today and being part of our Hermit Haven community.
We hope you enjoyed our cozy chat and are inspired to embrace your inner hermit.
Remember, even in the quiet moments, you're never alone on this journey, because we are truly all in this together.
So until next time, stay cozy, stay true to yourself, and keep spreading love wherever you go.
Bye for now.
We'll see you next time.